Hey everybody, it's me, Kevin. I'm here to show you another behind-the-scenes video on a another passion project that I worked on. Last one was well, actually, it was a Let's Play highlights video for the video game Super Mario Odyssey. But this is going to be much like the Star Wars 40th anniversary tribute. This is my Spider-Man films tribute, and I'm very excited to go back into this. I'm hoping to kind of make this maybe a series on my private channel. It won't be highly edited. It's going to be just me rambling about my thought process on these type of things. I don't know if this will be as popular as my Star Wars video. It's currently, I believe, my second most viewed video on my entire channel with over 2,000 views. This one is over 53, I believe. So, hopefully it'll get up there. It's definitely one of my best works out there, and I'm very, very excited to show you the rundown of how it all happened. First, I want to give a shout out to the guy who basically inspired me to make this in the first place with his amazing fan film composition of Spider-Man Homecoming, and that is going to be Benjamin Squires. A huge shout out to him. I would highly suggest you check out his music. He obviously works on trailers and for companies and whatnot, but he also has a YouTube channel, and he doesn't have much, unfortunately, but he does make fan film compositions for films that he loves, and obviously he's a huge Marvel fan. He released the Spider-Man Homecoming one, which is his most popular video by far, and he recently released a Avengers Infinity War soundtrack before the film was even released, so you well know that I am going to make another tribute video of Avengers Infinity War with this soundtrack. It is godlike. It is very, very well done. I really appreciate this man's work. So huge shout out to him. Go check out his stuff if you can. But anyway, so back to this. So that was basically what I had in my mind, and as you see here, this came out 11 months ago, so about mid-May of last year. Actually, let's just check out the actual date. Okay, so it came out in June. It as you can see here, it's it's very, very late, and two, it's close to being almost exactly a year since this was released. And I was looking for Spider-Man Homecoming music, especially the opening theme to the movie. I didn't know if there was an extended version, and then when I saw that, I thought that was the theme, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, this is perfect. I have to buy this on iTunes immediately. And then I found out, as just inspecting more, it was completely made by him, and I was blown away. I think I even left a comment on there saying that I listened to this 5 times and I couldn't believe this was completely fan made. I do consider it a masterpiece. I really hope that they hire this guy for the next movie. But anyway, back to my stuff. Basically, I just wanted to make a visualization of that composition. So I'm hoping I sent this to Benjamin. He liked the video, but I didn't get any much. I didn't get any further comments like I got from the Star Wars composer for the video I made for there. But anyway, that's fine. As long as he saw it, that's fine with me. Anyway. So I didn't go, and obviously it took me over almost a year to put this on my channel. First off, Spider-Man Homecoming was not out at the time, so I had to wait for that to be on Blu-ray, and then I had to somehow get I had Amazing 2 already on Blu-ray, so I knew I probably had the codes for that. But I didn't have any of the original Raimi films on Blu-ray yet, so let alone on digital. So I was like, all right, if I'm gonna go and get these on digital, I might as well get the Blu-ray for them. And luckily enough, I did find a package with all three films full of codes. So I was very fortunate to get that, and I have a lovely Spider-Man collection, physical and digital collection with me. So I'm very happy about that. So essentially, what I did was I recorded all the films on OBS, and that's why that's not the whole timeline. This is the entire timeline, and I have all the films right here at my disposal to go through and see what scenes I need and what scenes I don't need. It's a random thing. There's Andrew Garfield. There's Electro, and then there's Iron Man. You couldn't have told me that this was going to happen within like 15 years of filmmaking from Spider-Man 1 to Spider-Man Homecoming. But yeah, so I just have all the films at my disposal. I record all of them on OBS. That's how I usually get my footage. Is I just watch them through online, and then I record on OBS. I don't know if there's a more efficient way. If there is, please tell me, especially if it's legal. I only do this for these kind of tribute reasons. I don't do this for like pirating or anything. I buy all the films I use in my tributes, except maybe I use some for like, maybe I use some for like from YouTube or something, like some clips or whatever. But I usually buy all the movies I use in my tributes, and I usually almost delete them immediately. And this is all these films are taking a lot of space on my computer right now, especially with the settings I had at the time on OBS. So I'm glad to show off this edit, so then I can immediately delete them. Anyway, so yeah, so I usually prefer having all the films at my disposal on the timeline, even though the timeline can't really handle it. In fact, amazingly enough, it can only handle like maybe 25 hours of footage, but it can't possibly squeeze all 13 hours of footage together. So yeah, that's a little thing to consider next time when working on like 6 films. But it wasn't the first time, considering I worked on Star Wars. Anyway, going back to my work eventually. Alright, so that's how I got the footage. I had to alter a few scenes here and there based on either lighting. Like here, I have some color adjustment. It's really just increasing the exposure. The scene was probably too dark, and I just needed to up the exposure a little bit. So I'm learning from past mistakes. Anyway, so what to talk about? Well, let's pull up my little notes here. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, when I was I listened to this track over and over again. If you need to hear it again, by the way, I hope you actually watched the video, so that way when talking about this doesn't become boring. But let's just get a little taste of the song again. So you kind of get an understanding of it. I listen to this all the time because I was such a huge fan of this song. It's definitely a rendition of the classic 60s cartoon Spider-Man theme.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. speed, just like flies. Look out! Here comes the Spider-Man.
So clearly that's where this theme came from, but it's a much more epic version of that theme, and I love it to death. So listening to this over and over again, I did have some thoughts and opinions of what to show and what not to show. So for the opening bit, I did immediately think of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 opening, which is a great. Well, I wish it was the first thing you saw in the film and not something about Peter's parents that no one cares about. But I did love that scene. So immediately I cut it to black when it gets good, and then I thought just the fact that it shows the symbol and then you cut to immediately, by the way, I did cut the scene a bit. It actually lasts a little bit longer, but I have to cut it to get in sync with the music. But so I cut the scene a little bit just so I can get the spider symbol moving when it gets to that beat drop here. So you get a little tease of Spidey and a little tease of him about to web swing before we get to the good stuff. So it's a little something to anticipate the viewer about what's going to happen. Real quick, I had to give a shout out to Benjamin Squires at the very beginning. I love this piece so much that he needs to get all the credit he deserves. So I put his link in this little end slate here. Check out the composer. Subscribe for my stuff, but also check him out because I really do think that he needs more credit than what he's given. So anyway, so we have Spidey flying down the city, and then we immediately cut to black. And then I immediately thought of this opening from the the Sam Raimi films. Danny Elfman's the score for the original Spider-Man films. And I immediately thought of this little web that shoots the credits. And it shows Marvel Studios and all that, so I was like, okay, that's good. I can use that. I think I had to slow down the video speed, and just so it worked. Hopefully nobody really notices that it's a little bit slower than normal, but then it doesn't really matter at that point because once the web goes. Let's talk about the notes real quick. What I got here. Because I got a lot of these notes here. So actually, before I do that, let's cut to the next bit that I knew I wanted in this. There are some things that I knew and some things that that just kind of I already had in my head. So let's see if I can find it. Yes, this part where Jameson is yelling and the newspaper does the little spinning effect. I knew I wanted that in this because I knew it would work so well. That's all I could think of when I was hearing this part of the song. Oh, sorry. The real-time player has a hard time playing what I want to play. Let's see if it can do it now. Yeah, so I knew for a fact, I didn't know I was going to use this clip from Amazing 2, but I knew I wanted this from Jameson as much as possible. Sorry, I don't know why my editor freaks out like that, because I did a real hard cut on this, I think. I'm not sure. Hold on. Or maybe it's down. Yeah, it's down here. That's where the Lord have mercy. Yeah, that's where. So again, this newspaper stays on frame for a little bit longer, but I cut it a little bit just so I could have Spidey pop out. I really do like that shot. That's a really cheesy comic book effect, but it's also really cool. But yeah. Anyway, so I knew I wanted that. I definitely thought of this for the ending. Just a classic way to end the first film, and just paying homage to that. I love it. Anyway, I only had really those two ideas. Everything else just kind of like I knew what I wanted from most of this, and I knew the feeling I was going to get from most of this. Honestly, I was getting more of a feel for the villains because of this part during the song.
Spider-Man swooped in, heroically saving an academic decathlon team.
Let's let me play on the original score just so we have a better idea of what we're dealing with here. So let's see. Helps that Benjamin put some visualization of, like, obviously this is where the villain comes in, or conflict in general. So immediately I kept thinking of villains popping in and making Spidey's life terrible. And then here, like, obviously villains would be pummeling or beating up Spidey. And Spidey gets, in almost all the films, Spidey gets beat up quite a lot. So it just really kind of worked with what I was going with here. And I also definitely was going to use Venom in some area, just the way he talks and whatnot. I wanted villains to be talking about their plans and how they're going to kill Spidey. I didn't know all of who I was going to use. I thought I was going to use Green Goblin, but I decided not to. It's just too goofy, too hokey. But definitely Venom's line was good as well. And I immediately thought of this one here.
The world's changing. Time we change too.
Because that's just a perfect way to introduce all the villains, and then obviously you have Brock just explaining that, yeah, we're going to kill Spidey.
I want to kill the spider. You want to kill the spider. Together, he doesn't stand a chance.
And then obviously his next line just transitions perfectly into beating up Spidey.
Interested?
And that scene really fit well with the music too. Like, it, you gotta understand, like, most of my time spending is just trying to find scenes that really fit with the music, and it's also gotta be, like, super complimentary to the song, and just it's just gotta really work off. Also, I had to use that scene. Like, come on, you can't not use the great power, great responsibility scene. Tony's line is great, but this scene trumps all. Anyway, let's talk about notes real quick. So obviously here, so I didn't have this all planned out. I had to listen to this over and over again, just to get a feel of, like, what I was gonna do. But let's see. So let's get a nice frame, by the way, while we're looking at this. Yeah, there's my boy. All right, so we have Amazing 2 opening. These are all out of order, by the way. Cut to Black. Web String from Raimi openings. Amazing 1, Spider Bite. I did not want to use the gross-looking spider from Spider-Man 1. That thing is... Okay, this is going to be a weird to admit, but I actually have an arachnophobia. I hate spiders with... an undying passion. I hate them to death. Like, they can all burn. I much prefer lizards or frogs or anything amphibious to take care of my bugs and mosquitoes. I will kill them myself. Spiders, not a fan. Just don't need them. Just get them out. Get them away from me, and we won't have an issue. Though, then again, spiders have given me my favorite superhero of all time, ironically enough. So, we'll just go with that. But the spider bite from Amazing Spider-Man 1 is the most tame out of the bunch. The spider looks completely... Let's see if I can find that real quick. Let's see, Spider-Man 1. There we go, Amazing 1. I mean, look at that guy. Look at this guy. He's so generic looking. He's just so like not special. Like you could not tell me this was like gonna mutate me into an amazing spider person. That thing is like a freaking. I wouldn't care if this thing bit me. The other one, I would totally care. I mean, I know it was the size of a freaking pea, but like it looked disgusting. Just that close-up shot. But anyway, so we have him getting. Anyway, if we're really gonna go chronologically here, we have all the Peters, all the Peter Parkers that I can get. Just living their day-to-day lives, and then we have the bite. And then we have the transformation. It's kind of weird how he gets bit on the neck in Amazing, and then here you obviously the big gross bite he got in his hand in the Raimi films. Anyway, so we have notes here. Okay, so Spider-Man when sleeping, I knew I wanted that. While watching all the films, I kind of had other notes as well. So let's see. Introduce all three Spideys, so clearly we do that here. Yeah, it does not want to play that next scene. I don't know why. They're just having a real hard time processing all this. But anyway, you get the gist. He does a little web thing and comes up here and says hi to everyone. Can we get a little hello? He's gone. Anyway, we have all of them posing in some way. Yes, we do. This one is posing in freeze frame motion at the very end of Amazing 1. We obviously have the iconic Civil War moment where Spidey grabs Cap's shield. And then I didn't get Spidey posing in 3 because there are a lot of quick scenes that I couldn't find taking up like a good 5 seconds. Sorry, that's nearing 6 seconds. But this one scene in 3 just synced up with the music so perfectly that I didn't have to mess with it at all. And the way he gets like his mask gets close to the screen was just perfect, and it like transitions wonderfully to the next view. I knew I wanted this little kick that he does. I knew I wanted that. That was good. Anyway, so we have all of them posing in some way. Homecoming standing up. Yeah, he does stand up. In this shot, I was originally gonna have it over here, but it wasn't long enough. As you can see, it's like only like a second or two. And then obviously the Cap shield pose I had thrown. Then we have introduce villains with their lines, especially Vulture this time we changed to. That's definitely the first one we wanted. Harry to Otto, bring me the spider. Venom to Sandman, you want the spider, I want the spider. Harry to Electro. I was thinking of using the scene where Harry Osborn in Amazing Spider-Man 2 goes to Electro saying like, hey, they took your power plant stuff, you want it back. Like, it's simple. Also, we gotta kill Spider-Man. like, that scene. But I like this one a lot better where he's just talking about who he is. I didn't use the dumb line, it's like, you don't know, I'm Electro. I couldn't use that dumb line, but I like where he's talking about, like, no power, no city, no Spider-Man.
Everyone in this city is gonna know how it feels to live in my world. A world without power. A world without mercy. A world without Spider-Man.
I thought that was really good. Also, the music was playing very low at that part, so that worked very well in my favor, thank God. Sometimes the music kind of plays like in this part, or in this part, and it's actually no, that part's freaking perfect. But like sometimes the music's playing in this part, and I'm just like, I wish I knew how to edit better. I wish I was better at sound design because I hate the freaking music interrupting me with my music. But it's fine. So let's see, what else do we got? Harry to Otto. Okay, we got that. And then villains fight Spider-Man. Spider-Man being defeated. Obviously, that's these scenes where Vulture's getting Spidey over here, Electro's electrocuting Spidey here. I actually don't like this scene super well because, like, with this scene, it complements the music, like, beat to beat. If you watch it, you'll see what I mean. Like how he's, like, stomping him and, like, letting him go. But this one, it doesn't complement the beat that comes up. Like, that happens, but then it cuts to Gwen Stacy immediately after ramming Electro with a police car. So I couldn't use that, like, right where I wanted it. And I can't slow-mo it because it won't look good. This next part, though, I took the TV announcer's line from Spider-Man 3, and it's so comic booky, it's so freaking goofy and hokey, but I loved it to death because it worked with the cuts I was making here.
This could be a tragic day for the people of New York. It could be the end of Spider-Man.
Like, I synced that up perfectly for that. I kind of wish the movie kind of, like, did that. They would show his face, like, saying, like, this could be the end of New York, and, like, he's getting smashed. It could be the end of Spider-Man. Like it's so, it works so well. Like, I'm so glad I thought of using that. That's great. Anyway, we have Spidey at their low point. Great power comes great responsibility. That's the only note I had for this entire sequence. Like, I had to think a lot, like, how am I going to show all the Spider-Man depressed and whatnot? I tried thinking of, like, using Gwen Stacy's speech, like, when Peter's, like, all sad and mopey about her death. Rightfully so. And then, obviously, for Homecoming, I had to use the scene where he's trapped under the rubble. Like, that's just a great freaking scene. And then, obviously, Uncle Ben clearly had to use that. But I thought I was going to have to use Gwen Stacy's excuse me, speech for this scene. I didn't know I was going to use this. I thought I was going to have Andrew Garfield looking at his laptop, which would have been much dumber, and then Gwen Stacy would be on screen. But then I remember Tony Stark's line in Homecoming about the suit.
If you're nothing about this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
And I just thought, you know, those cuts together, like bringing Amazing and Homecoming together, I thought that was great. I really love this imagery here. It's really, really fantastic. So, and then obviously I had to have the entire line of Uncle Ben. Unfortunately, as you can see here, like, you know, you can see the wavelength, the waveforms on these clips. This one here is like there's nothing. And if it's hard to hear him,
Remember, with great power.
there's a reason. I put this freaking crap to max, and you can't even see the wavelengths. It's so small. I don't know. It like all the other films had good audio. I only had to increase it just a tad bit. Like, you know, like this is up to 8. This one's up to like freaking. This is not even like up that much. It's only up to like by 3. But Spider-Man 1 for some reason just played super low when recording it, so I can't do anything about that, unfortunately, or else it would just sound like Garbo. So I apologize for that, but that's, you know, doing the best I can. Best line in the whole movie too. Anyway, let's see. So then we get Spidey at their low point, so obviously that's a low point, and then I needed Spider-Man lifting the debris from Homecoming. Like, that was obviously going to be a thing. Here. So, I had that, but then I was like, alright, but I don't know how to fill in this part. Not that part. This part. Like, that running part, like, I am so glad I found that bit from the first Spider-Man one, and I was like, I saw that, and I'm like, I wonder if that would work for the really fast beat here. Like, I mean, it almost works perfectly in sync. Like, let's be honest, that that was pretty dang good. Also, the way he shows the spider at the very end. Like, come on, that's just so stupid. But it's stupid in the movie. Perfect for this little trivia here. Also, I didn't really know what else to do for this part, so I was like, all right, I got an idea. Let's just continue where we left off from the very beginning and like go full circle. It's like him fully embracing Spider-Man and whatnot. This next part. Okay, so Spider-Man lifts in debris. 8 teaser shots. I say 8 because this fully goes into the Spider-Man theme later.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
Alright, remember those lines, remember those quotes. The music is exactly the same here. So let's start here and just enjoy my my creative genius here. I am going full gloating. Yes, I am a genius when it comes to this part. Remember the lyrics and watch the sequence. It's having a little bit of trouble keeping up, but I'm sorry. Okay. Let's go scene by scene, shall we? If you can figure it out, but I know you're a wonderful, lovely viewer who is intelligent and everything, and I'm just explaining this for no reason. Anyway. We have Spider-Man does whatever, spinning a web down, does whatever a spider can, which is, having a web and just wall crawling. So Spider-Man does whatever a spider can, spins a web, like shooting web, spins a web. Frick, what's the lyrics? I thought it was sounding so smart for a second.
Spins a web any size, catches.
That's it. Okay. So, alright, let's do that. Spins a web, like shoots a web, any size. Like he caught a frickin' police car with the web, any size. Like in the cartoon, he catches a thieves car, but this is a police car, so it's fine. Catches thieves, just like flies. Look out! Here comes a Spider-Man. Here comes a Spider-Man. So that was like last minute kind of like thinking of all this stuff. But boy does it work. Like I didn't really think I'd do like the cut to black thing a lot, but it just works so freaking well. Anyway, let's see what else do we have. Endpoints with the villains. So obviously he's fighting the villains at this point. This little bit here where it goes into this. I wanted a swinging moment because obviously he's he's swinging here. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, he's swinging there. But I didn't want the next part in Spider-Man 2 because it doesn't look as epic. The swinging in Amazing and Amazing 2 are freaking awesome. Like those, I love Homecoming, but Amazing and Amazing 2 have the best like Spider-Man swinging scenes of all time. Like, oh, they are just godlike. Give me that on my wallpaper in high res. So anyway, you have you have the Spider-Man triumphing over some foes here. I just wanted a cool shot from Homecoming or Civil War. And plus, he hits Falcon, which is a winged guy, so that's kind of it's kind of cheeky, right? Fighting Doc Ock. I needed to use that scene. I had to use the scene somewhere because I love that bit where he just flies to the freaking bridge like that. It works in sync so well. And then this bit was kind of cool too. It just swings on the freaking web like that. It's great. This part, I'm glad I thought of. I didn't really think I was going to use that. Let's see what I have here as far as notes go. Endpoints with their villains, so that's that bit. Masks off. I thought we would have a moment with their masks off. We kind of do have a moment with Homecoming and 2, the Raimi film, but not. I don't think I have the mask off for Garfield, unfortunately. Couldn't think of anything. Let's see. Yeah. So we have the little final moments where they might be in peril. That just worked perfectly. I'm glad that scene exists. I love that scene in general. It's a great moment for the Gwen Stacy death. They glorified the crap out of that. Like how it turns into a hand. It's the imagery so good. I would say this scene right here. I'll come back to it in a sec. Let's just watch the rest. Essentially, he's having conflict with his villains. Is this the end of the line? And this part just sorry for interrupting, but this part just works super well with the music. How I cut it up. That was another moment I had in my mind where I was like, I need this scene for that moment. It works super well. And how he's running in slow motion here. Oh, it's so good! So I wanted a bit where, this bit here where he's saving all his love interests. Obviously, this is kind of a ruse because obviously he saves Gwen here. In that little moment, but we know moments later she doesn't make it, so it makes this part a little sad. But I like the next part where he saves Liz Allen. And then so real quick, what I want to go back to. That's a great. I had to include the train scene again somehow. Alright. This, I believe, was the weakest bit in my entire video. Okay, he crushes his, Lizard crushes his, web. Oh my god. Really? I can't think of the freaking name of it. His web shooter, Jesus. His web shooter, it crushes it. It's he's impaired. He's in a losing state. Also, he's getting all choked up by the tail or whatever. It's weird. This is the only shot with Lizard, by the way, so you can't say I didn't use all the villains, except maybe New Goblin. I don't think I have him, unfortunately, but he's not really a comic book character anyway, so whatever. I would say this is the weakest one. This is the only one with the weakest shot, the weakest scene. No one thinks of Spider-Man thinks of oh man, remember he got choked up by Lizard? No one remembers Lizard. That's why he's so underused in this entire compilation. But yeah, that scene was needed. Even my brother, when I showed him this, he was like, "You have to show this scene." I don't even. This is also the only time we see Green Goblin at all in this. Whole thing as well. As much as I love Goblin, there are just not a whole lot of scenes I could have used that would have intertwined perfectly as I did here. But this is obviously the best moment you can use is this scene. I think it also helps the music even more is the way Mary Jane motions her arm. with the music. It's it's so. Do I mention why I love doing this kind of stuff? It's just I love making things in sync with the music because it makes everything so much more powerful. That's why I do what I do. Like, you know, you'll see AMVs and other music videos, and I'm just like, bruh, you have music. Make the visual work with the music. Like, try to make it in sync. I know it's hard. Don't get me wrong. This is hard. Like, I spent more than 2 hours on this segment alone, where I'm just trying, like, on this little piece where, like, you know, the Spider-Man are attacking. Like, you know, I didn't know where to put this scene with Doc Ock. I didn't know where to put that at all. I didn't know if I wanted to use this. I held on to the scene so much, but I didn't know where to put it. And this was like the last scene I could think of for this bit. But yeah, this little segment, like just those 3 shots, or maybe those 4, took like 2 hours, and it was like the last thing I had to do in this whole thing. Anyway, so yeah, at the very end, oh wow, the music finally loaded in. You can see it's actually peaking a bit here and there, but I didn't want to mess with it at all. I didn't want to lower the key the volume at all. It's just perfect the way it is. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Plus, you couldn't really tell that it was peaking that much, so it was, you know, kind of whatever. But let's see. So yeah, we have him saving his love interest at the very end. And then we just had to have a final shot with all of them looking cool. So this one just worked. Amazingly, I just had this in mind, and it worked perfect with the music. So good. I love that scene. Look at that. Look at that perfect spider icon. I love that icon symbol. They don't ever get it right with the other films. They finally got it right. Thank you, Marvel. I love you. Anyway, going on. This one actually doesn't really work with the music super well, but I mean, it's a slow-mo shot, so I can kind of get away with it. Also, it's just a cool looking shot in general. It's great. And then I ended with the original theme. I mean, I had to. Using the font, I downloaded this on the font, I believe. It was free. And it was like the Spider-Man Raimi film font. It's pretty good. And you know, I'll have my like end slates here and there for my YouTube video that I can do on YouTube. And yeah, I just found this picture online. I was just looking for Spider-Man backgrounds, and this came up, and I love this original symbol of him. Like, that's the Spidey symbol. So and the rest of the background works perfectly. So I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, it's great. I wish I could give a shout out to the artist who made this, but I don't know. But I mean, you can easily find it on Google Images if you just look up Spider-Man background. But yeah, that is the edit for this thing here that I made with my eye holes and my eardrums. Is there anything else that I can think of? No, but anyway, so basically, if you understand like how these videos work, obviously there's a ton of cuts and not a whole lot of time to really absorb what's going on. I try to give as much information as I can. I don't want cuts to be too quick. I try to leave, let's see how many, I give this shot of Spidey here looking at Mary Jane. So like, okay, so I think we had, yeah, more than 20. So as long as it's like, you know, a full second can be even too long, as long as it has, you know, more than 20 frames. You know, 10 frames is too quick, but 20 frames can be effective.
This could be a tragic day for the people of New York, it could be the end of Spider-Man.
Kind of Black is it's kind of an old trick, but it's also effective when used properly. Yeah, I mean, basically all I'm doing is listening to the song. I'm trying to find scenes that work with it. And I also try to tell a story. So basically the story is that, we have a Spider-Man. Who is Spider-Man? Well, he's this guy. He's also this guy. And he's also this guy. This is a Spider-Man, but that's not really Spider-Man. That's the person who is under the Spider-Man costume. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Obviously, Spider-Man was made by these peoples. And then we have Spider Bite of how it happened. Transformation. And then there's a Spider-Man, there's a Spider-Man, and there's another Spider-Man somewhere in here. Yeah, it's right there. He's doing a little jumpy thing. Yeah, and then we have more Spider-Mans doing cool things. Who is this guy? Well, he's cool. He does these cool poses and whatnot, and he does the swinging, he does the fighting, and he does the posing. So yeah, and then okay, that's Spider-Man. Well, then there's a conflict. He has to fight these guys. He has his villains, and then he has to at the end of the day, he's got to fight him, and he gets beat up a lot. He gets beat up a lot in these films. Like even in this fighting too, like he gets beat up a lot, and yet he doesn't really show any physical damage whatsoever. But yeah, he gets beat up, and it's like, well, how does he triumph? Well, he triumphs by remembering who he is. I don't know why it's showing that frame. That's not even in the shot. That wasn't at all in the video. He's got to remember who he is. Like I kind of interpret, like, either you can think that, okay, yes, Peter's looking at Gwen Stacy's grave, or he's looking at Uncle Ben's grave. You can interpret it as either. I know he's looking at Gwen Stacy's grave in that shot, but I like to think that the viewer can guess either it's Gwen Stacy's or Uncle Ben. So I mean, because this guy meant a lot to him and had that famous line. So. He's lost. Spider-Man's lost. Like I'm getting beat up. I'm getting beat up by these guys. Like how do I stop this? How do I do this, Uncle Ben / Gwen Stacy? And then Papa Iron Man tells him, you gotta be more than your suit, man.
You have the suit, then you shouldn't have it.
And great power comes from great responsibility.
Great power comes great responsibility.
And he gets back on his feet, or back in the air. All determined and ready to kick some ass. He's gonna get out of his situation and be a Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Does whatever he can, and then he does the badass. He's back. He got beat up. So basically, there's Peter Parker. He got bit by a spider. He's being all Spider-Man, being all cool. These guys don't like him. And then he's all sad, like, oh man, people won't like me being Spider-Man. But then these guys are like, hey, we like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's cool. So he's like, right, I am cool. So he's swinging, he's running, he's getting out of his situation. He remembers who he is. He's a Spider-Man. And then now he's back. He's back being a Spider-Man. Kicking ass, kicking names, kicking ass. And he's trying his best. His best might not be the greatest. He might get into perilous situations, especially this one. Maybe sometimes he's gotta make a hard choice. But you know what? He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it because he's Spider-Man. Yeah. So I love this video. I'm sorry. I don't know if you can tell. Boy, I've been as usually these things go. I've been recording for almost an hour, so I apologize. But if you stuck with me this long, you are godlike, and I appreciate you. And you have a serious interest in how my brain works, so that's cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes on this. I'm finally going to delete all this footage now that I have. Now that I don't need it anymore. I don't need this project. I'm a little sad that I won't be able to see this timeline again, but that's why this video exists, is so I can see all the bits and glory of this timeline here, all the hard work I put in. But yeah, that's Spider-Man for you. Spider-Man, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man film tributes. That's why I named the video. That's why I named it. And just real quick, obviously, there's a font here. Spider-Man 2. I did a little transition from Spider-Man 2 to Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's kind of cool. I kind of like that. This is all the audio from the films, from when the villains are talking, or when the announcer or Tony or Uncle Ben's talking. And then you have the Spider-Man theme. I wanted to play it quiet just to, kind of like glorify the Benjamin Squires theme more. But yeah, that's all this is. That's all you get. Hope you enjoyed, and I will be back to do my Deadpool tribute video, and I'll also talk about the horrible, not horrible, but the horrible to work on Star-Lord did nothing wrong video. Oh god, that video took 2 weeks to do. This took like maybe the week. Like overall, it took like a year, obviously, because I didn't have footage and I didn't have time to work on stuff because I was finishing college. But I found the time, and oh, I did so good. I did so rad. Oh, I think I finished this like after I did my finals, and I aced all my finals, so I was very happy about that. Little side note, I got a B on science, but I mean that's in my heart. It feels like acing. I did really well. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and have a marvelous day. Get Marvel, because Spidey. Should I sell the point even harder by showing the Marvel? Showing the Marvel, where is it? There we go, that's the Marvel. Spider-Man, yeah. Alright, see ya. Have a good one. Bye.